What's up, guys? All my MMA maniacs, all my UFC maniacs, Mr. Fat Fist is back, ready to attack UFC Sacramento and make some motherfucking cash up in this bitch. I'm excited. Last week was unbelievable. Jorge Masvidal knocked Ben Askren's chin straight off his shoulders. I had that at plus 185. Cashed that bitch all day long. I'm not going to get into last week's bets. I'm going to make this podcast or this fightcast pretty quick. I don't like the lengthy podcast that goes over an hour where they start explaining, the guy has a great jab, do an overhand right, and then follows up with a great right inside leg kick. No, I'm going to make it pretty quick. I'll tell you a couple reasons why I'm leaning that way, and that's about it. So, that's being said, let's make some money. Let's jump into this bad boy. All right, first up, we got Benito Golden Boy Lopez versus Vince Vendetta Morales. Lopez, he trains over there at Team Alpha Male. I know he's got great sparring partners. There are animals over there. But to be frank, in this matchup, I like Vince Morales. Benito struggles a bit, especially in the grappling department. So Vince really, he needs to take this to the mat. He can't make this or let this be a kickboxing match. He needs to take him down, and then he needs to keep him down and around the cage. He needs to wear on him a little bit, tire him out. I could see Morales doing just that, honestly. Benito could make this a close fight if he can manage to keep it standing and keep it on the feet. But my lean's on Vince Morales. It's only a lean. You get him at minus 145 right now, minus 145-ish, depending on what book you use. But, yep, my pick is Vince Morales at minus 145. Guys, the Brazilian gangster, Livia Souza versus Brianna the Bull Van Buren. This is a more intriguing matchup than people think. Van Buren is very talented. She's more of that polished striker. She got a great ground game. Once she gets on top, it's almost impossible to get back up. She'll sit there and side control and just elbow you. And it's position over submission for her. She won't go over that submission over position. She stays on top. She'll ride the round out on top and win that round. It's just how she rolls. She's very strong, great wrestler, and her stand-ups is great as well. She's a high-volume striker. I think she's training over there now at AKA. Yeah, AKA. So she's got some studs over there that she's working with. She's really just a complete package, in my opinion. Souza, she's tough, but she's a bit of a brawler, and that it doesn't help her. I think she needs to polish her striking up a little bit, be a little bit more of a point fighter. It seems like that's what's getting it done in the women's divisions. Is they're not knocking each other out except for Jessica Ai and Valentina Shevchenko, Nunes and Holly Holm. Yeah, that shit happens, but I think it's like an 80% or higher decision rate. So that being said, I just don't see a route for victory for Souza. I just don't. I think Buren gets this done, unanimous decision, and I'm all over Van Buren at minus 125. I locked that in a couple days ago. So, again, the pick is Van Buren. It's not a lean, it's a pick. Van Buren, minus 125. All right, guys, next up we got Ping Won versus Jonathan Martinez. It's a pretty simple breakdown, in my opinion. Ping is well-rounded, much more well-rounded than Martinez. He's 2-0 in the UFC right now. In my opinion, about to be 3-0 after his unanimous decision win against Jonathan Martinez this weekend. I believe Jonathan Martinez is a jobber. A lot of people are high on him. I just don't see it. I know he's a tough kid. I just don't think he's going to cut it in the UFC. Hey, I might be wrong. But it's a pretty easy pick for me. I'm betting Ping Won. I already have bet Ping Won at minus 145. So my pick here is Ping Won by decision. But don't take the prop on that. I would just bet Ping Won in general at minus 145. All right, guys. Next up, we got Darren Elkins versus the Wizard Ryan Hall. Before I said this was an intriguing matchup. This is the most intriguing matchup of the year, in my opinion. Hall, he's definitely the best jiu-jitsu guy in the UFC right now, in my opinion, for sure. If Hall doesn't get that heel hook or manage to somehow get it to the mat, he's in big fucking trouble. Excuse my language, but he's in big trouble. Elkins is just too tough, in my opinion, to tap. So even if he does get it to the mat, he's got to put him to sleep. He's not going to tap. So I do have Elkins in this fight. I think Elkins will get a finish. If you're going to bet Ryan Hall, bet him by submission. Do not bet him any way but by submission, because that's the only way he wins this fight. He doesn't win a decision. He doesn't win it by knockout. He wins it by submission only. But that being said, my pick is Elkins at -110. I believe he's too much for Ryan Hall. Ryan Hall's last fight was against BJ Penn, a washed-up BJ Penn at that, and it was a quick heel hook, and he was out of there. But that being said, again, Darren Elkins at -110. All right, guys, here we go. We got Julia Pena versus Nico, the pullout Montano. Nico's a bum, in my opinion. Yeah, she won the Ultimate Fighter, but who gives a shit, in my opinion. I'm all over Pena like white on rice, like stank on shit. I'm going to tell you that right off the bat. Pena has been out a little bit. She's been out of the game for about a year and a half, year and some change. But Nico has not fought anybody in Pena's level, not anywhere in Pena's class. It's an easy pick for me. I got her at -170. Right now she's -200 as we speak. I still think she's playable, especially if you want to parlay her. She's not losing that fight unless she slips on a banana peel. I don't think there's going to be any banana peels in that cage Saturday night. So my pick is Julia Pena. I got her at -170. Right now she's -200. Hopefully she goes down a bit by the time you hear this, but I only think she's going to go up. So if you're going to bet her, I jump on her now. Again, Julia Pena, -170, but right now she's -200. All right, here we go. Next up, we got a barn burner. We got Andre Fili versus Sergio Moraes. Shaman Moraes. I'm really high on Moraes. I always have been, and I really like him in the spot. Fili has looked good as of late, but I believe Moraes could be a future star. I really do. Moraes takes damage to give damage, which I like, and so does the UFC and Dana White. He's a very tough brawler. He's got great takedown defense. Fili, trust me, he's going to try to take this down to the mat, in my opinion. He is an alpha male. That's what they do over there Team Alpha Male. He doesn't want to stay standing with Moraes. If he does, he's going to get pieced up. So if Fili can implement and utilize his alpha male chain wrestling, he could get it done, but I'm leaning, and it's a strong lean towards Shaman Moraes at -120, guys. Shaman Moraes at -120. Alright, I'm sad to even announce this fight. As you can see, I'm not excited whatsoever. We got Mike Rodriguez versus John Allan. Not Allen, but Allan. He's 6'1", 205 pounds. Soaking wet. Honestly, I really don't care much for this fight. Odds are fucked. It's not worth betting, so I'm not going to even cap it. If you want to get froggy, bet Mike Rodriguez inside the distance. Otherwise, sit back, open your beer, soda, glass of wine, whatever you drink, and enjoy the fight, or don't enjoy it, actually. That being said, though, my pick's Mike Rodriguez inside the distance. I'm not even going to make a regular pick. I'm going to make a prop pick on Mike Rodriguez inside the distance. I'm not telling you guys to bet it, but that's the only way you could bet it, in my opinion. Yeah, you could take a dog shot on John Allen, but you'd be betting blind, literally. I mean, there's a reason why he doesn't have a picture over there on the right. He's taken on, I think, a week and a half notice. Gian Vellante pulled out of the fight last minute. So, again, Mike Rodriguez inside the distance. We got Marvin Vettori versus Cesar Ferreira. In my opinion, Vettori just about beat Israel Adesanya when they fought. I honestly think that. Many people do. He's a tough kid, well-rounded. He's still improving every fight, every day. Cesar, hey man, he's got great jiu-jitsu. I'm not gonna take that away from him. But so does Vettori. Vettori should stay away off the mat. He's a way better striker. And I think he should just keep it standing. It's a safer game plan. Stay away from the mat. Don't give him his neck type thing. He should pull the W out. I think Vettori, he could make this a quick night. Otherwise, it's going to be a close decision if he doesn't land those big bombs. But I got Marvin Vettori minus 150 as a pick. Here we go. We got Carl Robertson versus Wellington Thurman. We got Carl Robertson at minus 225 odds right now. We got Thurman at plus 175. And he's stepping up to make his UFC debut. Thurman is stepping up to make his UFC debut against a tough Carl Robertson on about 3 weeks' notice, replacing John Phillips, who was probably an easier fight for Robertson, in my opinion. It looks like the 22-year-old fighter in Wellington has okay stand-up. I mean, he really just looks to grapple, fuck you, excuse my language, for 3 rounds or slap on a guillotine. His wrestling is decent, but I don't see him taking Robertson down. And if he does, I really think Robertson will have no problem getting back up. Robertson's a high-level kickboxer with ever-improving ground game. I mean, his takedown defense is getting better and better every fight. I just think this is a tough debut for Wellington. I mean, at minus 225 odds, though, I mean, it might be worth playing, but I don't think so. I think it's a stay-away fight. I don't think it's a dog or pass. I think it's just drink a beer, soda, glass of wine, and enjoy the fight. But my pick to win it is Carl Robertson. But I do think Wellington Thurman has a future in the UFC. All right, guys, we got one of the best matchups of the night: Josh Emmett versus Mirsad Bektic. Emmett recently, I mean, he was almost decapitated. Somewhat. Has he recovered? I don't know. Maybe. But he's a tough fighter. I mean, he swings big, heavy bombs, hooks. Bektic, he's got to be very careful to win this fight, honestly, in my opinion. He can't get caught with those overhand rights and that big power from Emmett. I think Bektic's training over at TriStar now. He was over at American Top Team. But he's at GSP's gym now, TriStar. And they got solid guys over there, so I think he's going to be alright. But I don't know. The odds are a little bit steep for Mirsad. I kind of like Josh Emmett as a dog pick right now. I'm not sure. I don't even want to give you guys a play on this one. Just enjoy the fight, but don't be surprised if Emmett sleeps Bektic. I can see that happen. As you saw, Elkin slept Bektic in the third, and he was winning that entire fight. And Josh Emmett is he's a lot better fighter than Elkins is, in my opinion. So my pick on this one is Bektic, but I wouldn't blame you for taking a plus 145 dog shot on Josh Emmett. All right, on to the next one. Co-main event of the evening. We got the California Kid, Uriah Faber, versus Ricky Simon. Sorry, there's no. He's got no nickname. Tough fight for Faber's first fight back, in my opinion. I feel like these guys are like mirrors of each other. I don't know. As much as I want Faber to get this W, as much as I'm praying for it, I just feel like Simon is just a little bit better, a little faster everywhere. I think Faber's wrestling might be a little bit better, but I think Ricky's scrambles are going to be able to negate that. At this point in Faber's career, the prime Uriah Faber probably would have mopped up Ricky Simon. But I think Ricky at this point in his UFC career could and should beat Uriah Faber, but the odds are ridiculous. Minus 340 for Ricky Simon is actually insulting to Uriah Faber. So I actually would take a dog shot on Uriah Faber on this one. He could definitely get the W, 100%. I feel like this is like a 60-40 fight, maybe a little bit steeper than that, worst case scenario. So my pick is Uriah Faber, dog shot. I believe you can give him the plus 2 and change, right? 225, 250, depending on your book. So again, pick the California Kid, Uriah Faber. Here we go. We got the main event. Duran Duranami, a.k.a. Cheap Shot, versus Aspen Ladd. All jokes aside, she's a solid fighter, but that fight versus Holly Holm, man, that shit was wrong 2 or 3 times after the bell. Come on, what are you thinking, Jermaine? I mean, Aspen Ladd looking sharp as of late. I mean, it's a tricky fight to call in so many ways, so many aspects. The biggest issue I have is, I mean, can Jermaine stop Aspen's takedowns? Will Jermaine look good after a bit of a layoff? I mean, I think she hits a lot harder than Aspen Ladd. She's also got some sick, heavy leg kicks, and I think that Ladd is more of a point fighter. Tough fight to call, man. I think Jermaine gets done though. As long as she doesn't gas out and this long layoff doesn't affect her, I think she should be good. Should be okay. It is a 5-round fight. Keep in mind. But I do think those heavy leg kicks from Jermaine Durandamy is going to pay dividends to towards they getting that W. So my pick here is Jermaine Durandamy. Excuse me. And that's it, y'all. You can get her at plus odds. She is the dog. And that's all I got. Make sure everybody checks out the Sports Keg Live podcast. It's every night at I believe it's 7 to 7:30 p.m. Baseball, any sport that's on. And then we got Jay has a Sports Keg cast called the Fight Cast. The Sports Keg Live Fight Cast. Every Saturday night, jump on the chat. We all put bets in together, make money together, and that's it. You can DM me on Twitter at Mr. FatFist, no period, just MRFATFIST. Same thing on Instagram. And until next time, let's cast these bets.